Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream Park. Samantha Perry here, joined with Brian Nato. You see the beautiful skyline, and it wasn't so beautiful a few days ago, was it, Brian?
No, it's been a wild and wet, crazy few days here in South Florida, so we hope everybody is safe and sound, both humans and horses here. And, we hope we can bring a little happiness here as we're back on an 11-race card. As Samantha said, you see it. It's a beautiful day out here in Hollandale Beach, so we're open and we're looking forward to it and getting back to some normalcy here after a very rough few days. And just kudos and golf clap to everybody around, at least the track. You know, everybody has their stories, but they did a phenomenal job to get us to where we are today. You sent some pictures in the backstretch and what we saw and everything, but it's great to be able to back here racing today and try to put everything behind us.
Yep, and that's what's so nice about the racing community is it truly is a community.
Yeah.
Everybody gets together and like Brian said, kudos to everybody that helped out and lent a hand through all of this. Luckily, everybody was marked safe here, and I hope everybody at home, wherever you're watching, is as well. But we've got 11 races for you today and $100,000 gross jackpot guaranteed in this Rainbow Six, which is exciting to start off this Saturday.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like we've been on a little hiatus here, but that picked off from last Sunday, and Ron will be out a little bit later on with his ticket and in front and center here in the opener. Not only early pick 5, but also, as you see on your screen there, that super high 5 carryover started with about $8,300. It's already up to over $11,000, and that is going to grow because we've got a really good race here. We are off the turf. I think that's pretty obvious after what we've been through the past several days. We are off the turf on the Tapeta in those races.
But the track is fast, which is a good thing here, and the Tapeta is always fast. So a mile and 70 yards here for the opener. We're going to take out the 1, 10, and 14. Note that the 13 does draw in, and I know Brian did some last-minute
very important.
reworking here. So in this opener, it's 3-year-old maidens here, and if you are not a Florida bred, you are in for the $50,000 tag here. And, you know, with these scratches here, Brian, I think all of our handicapping today, we kind of planned on being off the turf, but it's a matter of who stays in, and the beauty of the Tapeta is you don't lose a lot of horses.
Yeah, only a couple out, so we'll take a look at my early pick 5 here. And like Samantha joked at, we had a last-minute add to the 13 because she's a major player, wide draw and all. We'll go 4 deep here in race number 5. On top is race number 2. On top is the 5. Excuse me. Please call me back. Your single last shift. I'm excited to see him come back. Tammy Bobo, homebred for Antonio Sano, ran so well on debut. 2 deep in race 4, and that is number 4. Telephone Talker on me. I lose my best bet of the day, unfortunately, Dazzling Truce. And then 4 deep in race 5 to get us out of this sequence. Another top pick I lose, scratch into Armstrong there, and we've got a replay. $48. A lot of replays to show today.
Yeah, it's an exciting day. Knock the rust off the wheels here in our minds. I know we've still been handicapping because racing never stops anywhere. But in this race here, I wanted to look for a horse, Brian, that had some Tapeta form, and you don't have him at all. But the number 3, Nadudet, this is a horse who's been on the Tapeta 4 different times, only 1 third-place finish, but I think that this is probably the best situation for this horse.
Yeah, she got X'd out when I still the 13's in, the 3 is out. So I didn't use her, but Robbie Falcone had a little struggle this winter. Let's be honest, but he left this horse here, and you know she's going to get back to the Tapeta. Has some okay form on it. You know, Samantha kind of hit on it. There is not a lot to go on here of who you can trust and who you can't as far as Tapeta form. So it's a little bit not so much a guessing game, but we'll just see who can kind of answer the bell today. Nah, dude, that's not impossible.
The number 9, Rugula, Grand Motion. This is a filly that's stretching out for the first time.
Yeah, she would have been a huge favorite on turf. You know, accomplished girl. It's such a weird race when you're involved with accomplished girl. We were talking off the set. She's, you know, so freaky fast early. What happened was the gates opened. She's 3 in front, and the rest of the field is completely run off their feet. Now, this will be a truer race today for this Grand Motion trainee. She's going to stretch out. Tapeta, well, we don't know, but I feel pretty confident, Samantha. She's maybe by far the best horse in the field. Can she handle Tapeta? That's the only question.
And you would hope so. She's kind of a lighter filly, so I like to see these kind of lighter framed horses in the Tapeta. And it's the first leg, so you can take a look at them in the paddock and see what we get. Now, race number 2 starts the early pick 4. I have a ticket that I put together here. And 1350, that's an interesting little note there. Race 2 we'll get to in just a second. 3-1 Payzone. This is my top pick, my best bet of the day here. First time starter and a gelding for the George Weaver barn. Race number 4, the 8 is my top pick. That's El Socio. And in race 5 to end the pick 4, it's off the turf on the Tapeta here. The 4 Armstrong. I just noticed it's Armstrong, not Armstrong.
Oh, yeah,
interesting. Your brain kind of switches that to Mr. Lance Armstrong here, but that's my top pick on the Tapeta track, 1350 for me. And this is a race here, Brian, that it's claiming $10,000 levels on the Tapeta. We take out the 3 Unified Conquest, and I don't think it really changed the race too much.
No, I think that's a good point. Unified Conquest is going to come from the back, so the flow of the race isn't effective at all. You know, you use the 2 and 3rd. I think our top picks, at least to me, are a pretty separator from the other 2. You know, Please Call Me Back is going to go off the claim for Rohan Crichton, and in and of itself, that's it. We're talking about, you know, he's in the bin 30, 37, 35% with this kind of angle. Kerry Beyond does a good job. Got this horse to win 2 back off the Tapeta. Stumbled a little bit on the rise, but we've got that behind him now. And, you know, Rohan, it is what it is. You're going to take an underlaid price on this horse, but I expect to move forward.
Yeah, he surely can, and this horse has done a lot of different things. A 6-year-old, 33 starts, you can't really knock an iron horse like that. Now, the number 6 Prefect, Bob Hess, who's done better than him lately? It's really been an impressive meet.
Yeah, Bobby's been doing good. He's got one later on that's going to be tough in the 3-year-old optional claimer there that we'll get to. But certainly Prefect is a major, major player in here. He's got the good run at the level. Was a good second last time. Bryce Canyon, I know you know that horse very well. He's absolutely streaking right now for Jimmy Toner. So that's a good race. And I want to mention, too, the race Please Call Me Back comes out of with Winning Factor winning on the drop. Those are 2 really good races.
Yep, they are. Race number 3 here. This is a maiden special weight event, 6.5 furlongs, and this is for 3-year-olds and upwards. So note that these 3-year-olds are starting to integrate with the older horses. Now, this is kind of an interesting race because the 4-year-olds in this race, they don't have a lot of back class. So I see it in your face what I'm thinking. But you've got a replay, so I'll let you take it away with probably the horse that's the one to beat in this spot.
Yeah, without a doubt. Last shift ran huge on debut. You're going to see the immediate start here where he kind of stumbles and he's instantly up against it. And the winner, here he is, the 4. Okay, thanks, Bob. Good job. He just basically walks out of the gate, and a la carte won that day. And he had come out of that freaky first-time race where a la carte was 4. And no, a la carte was 5, and the Pletcher horse was 4. I think they ran a 97. So now we're going to go into the far turn. Look at this rush job here on last shift. Like, he's got some gears, and he's going to go right up here and pressure a la carte and Mr. Peaks. They end up running 1-2. And it looks like last shift for a second here is going to go right on by, but I think, Samantha, what happened was the early start and then certainly the rush job here. And, you know, that's nothing against Edgar Zayas. He's got a horse that's up against it after the start, and he's got to move. And now the race is kind of over and reality sets in a little bit. I don't really care about what happens from here, to be honest. I thought that initial burst after the bad beginning, and these are 2 really nice horses. Mr. Peaks ended up running in the Florida Derby off the private purchase. I thought that was a powerful debut, and you know, he's 7-5 on the morning line, and that's exactly spot on. He'll probably be lower than that by post time because he looks like he's got a lot of talent.
He does, and you can excuse him for that kind of dwelting at the start. It was his first start, and sometimes horses, they just get run off their feet. Now, the number 1 here, Payzone. This is a first-time starter for trainer George Weaver, who, you know, in my mind, I don't think of him as having one cranked up, but he's had some sneaky good runners lately, and this is one that sold for $27,000 as a yearling, and then came back for $165,000 in that Fasig-Tipton May sale that used to be here at Gulfstream, and this is sired by Mosler, which he averages yearlings, I think, $10,000. So this was a nice-looking horse. Now, we've got a stat here on George Weaver with horses that are making their debut for the first time at maiden special weights. He's 11 for 63, 17%, now 47% in the money, Brian. It's solid.
No, and he sent out some live horses that the steam horse that won in New York the other day ran huge here on debut for George. The rail was a little worrisome here, but let's be honest. Aside from last shift, this is a race there for the taking.
Right.
And if this horse can run a little bit, he's going to have a big say.
And I know just quickly on last shift, you don't play a lot into jockeys, but Edgar Zayas did ride last shift, and now he's on George Weaver's horse.
Yeah, no, it's a legitimate point.
So if this is a race that maybe you want to try to take down a favorite, this could be it. Now, race number 4 here, this is a 1 1/16 on the Tapeta. We did lose the number 7, your best bet, Dazzling Truce, out of this spot, but I'll let you take it away to Telephone Talker, who this is a nice competitive level back for this horse.
Yeah, he was in over his head off the claim last time. Enrique Amato claimed and bumps him up to a really tough group, and Fly the W is probably as good as any Tapeta horse we have on the grounds here. He's absolutely streaking right now, and you know, Telephone Talker got beat up a little bit. Maybe we probably thought that was going to happen. He's in over his head. He's back with his friends here now. He is 2 starts away from Safi, so we'll see what we get, but he's the horse to beat now, especially with the scratch of Dazzling Truth.
And he's had a little bit of freshening up too, which you like to see. The number 8, El Socio, this is another one that he's very good on the Tapeta. They tried him on the turf last time, and he didn't run poorly. It just wasn't his thing.
No, it wasn't his thing exactly. And to Samantha's point, he held his own very nicely. He's not a turf horse. For him to get beaten 4 lengths against a group like that was pretty solid. Now you go back to the Tapeta race, 2 back and even 3 back. He's running an 8. He's running a 10. That's going to fit quite nicely with this group.
Race number 5 here. This is another really nice maiden special weight. Now, it is off the grass on the Tapeta, so a few unknowns. We're scratching the number 3, Saint in the City, in this spot here, and I landed with Armstrong on top here, but this is a colt that when I went back and looked at Taprit's stats on the Tapeta, only 2 for 41 on the Tapeta, which I thought was interesting.
That's not very good.
No.
So we've got we got a replay of Armstrong. Armstrong. Glad you said that. I would have said Armstrong literally 11 times today. He's down inside. I don't think he wanted to come through. I don't think it was a good spot to be. I did have the rail a little sticky that day, as it can be sometimes on the main track here. I thought he had some run. I thought he was a little compromised. You're going to see him in mid-stretch too. I don't know if he lost his focus a little bit either. Right here, you know, here's Let It Ride. We just mentioned the George Weaver horse.
That
ran one the other day in New York, ran so good here on debut. I thought Armstrong had some run here. I just don't know if he wanted to come through. It's an intimidating thing for a young, lightly raced horse. The other thing too is now Let It Ride. I already mentioned that, came back to win. The horse that ran 4th won the other day at Keeneland. So it's been a very live heat. Scotland might be going places for Bill Mott and Ellen J. Foxwood. So I think this is a really good race he comes out of. Tapeta, 2 turns. It's a guessing game. It is for a lot of them in here, though.
Yeah, it is. And the good thing about these Taprits, they're pretty lighter bodied here, and Taprit kind of was as well. So I think he fits in this spot. I'm willing to kind of turn the other cheek with that kind of stat here. Now, the number 5, Power of Nature, first-time starter. Mastery is only 9% with first-time starters.
Yeah, not a lot to go on here, but it's Jorge Delgado. It's AMO Racing. They've teamed to not only win some races, but they've come to the races with some nice horses. I would expect this horse can run a little bit. The barn is 24% on debut. This is a tab the tote kind of race as well. You want to see who's live and taking money in here.
The number 2, Rigel, this is a horse that ran decent on the Tapeta last time. He's the only one that's had 2-turn experience on the Tapeta, and I think he might get overlooked a little bit with such probably a heavy favorite of maybe Jorge Delgado's horse or Armstrong, but I think one to, like you said, tab the tote.
Well, Samantha brings up a good point, too, as we're talking about dirt and turf horses here, now playing the Tapeta game. His race wasn't great, but he broke outside and he broke last that day, and he's got that experience, so there's something to be said for that. We're
going to take a short break, and when we come back, it will be Ronnie's Rainbow 6 time.
And they're off.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Samantha and Brian here with you, taking us through this 11 race card after a little bit of a break in the week due to the weather. Now we are back and in the Rainbow Six, $100,000 gross jackpot guaranteed here. And let's look at Ronnie's Pick 6 ticket.
Should be a big number today, and 3840. So there you see it. He's going to go 3 deep here, and we'll weave our way through this sequence together. And his single, I heard him talking in the office. Father Delay is his single. We mentioned already Bobby Hess Jr. He claims this one. That horse ran off the screen with a crazy fast figure last time. He's well drawn. That's a good 10th race, 3-year-old optional claimer with some horses quite possibly going places. I'm looking forward to seeing Swervin come back. Great navigator. I know Samantha knows well. So that's an exciting feature today. 3840 for Ron, and he'll be up here with me for the opener in just a little bit.
Now, this race here, we only lost the number 3 Brasstown, and I say only, but was the 8-5 on the morning line here, so I think it kind of changes things. Now, I never had him on top. Did you?
No, I wasn't playing him. I thought he would have been an underlay. He was a heavy favorite on the line, but he was coming out of some slow races.
Yeah. The number 1, Rebelled, is exiting the race with Here Comes Bullet. We've got a replay on that, so I'll let you kind of tee us up with that replay here.
Take a look at it here. Rebelde is the 9, or excuse me, Here Comes Bullet is the 9. Rebelde is the 3. Now, Here Comes Bullet kind of had to make first run in this race. You can see Ravon is loose and controlling, and he's running off. And Here Comes Bullet was somewhat in no man's land here. He's got run. They don't want to go up there and run down a horse that you know is going to stop eventually. He got forced into this trip. For him to be second, and Rhymes Like Dimes, as you can see him 4-5 and just ranging up here, I thought Here Comes Bullet ran huge in this race, Samantha. It's kind of one of those races where you need to watch and then think it over a little bit. And you say, oh, boy, he really did run well here while Rhymes Like Dimes is going to grind him down on the outside. The reason I didn't put him on top, and Rebelde, you can see, is really grinding. Can he run back to that race now? And he's 2 off the claim now. 2 big. He ran a 6 and a 7. I just kind of felt maybe he comes back a little bit.
He might, but if you look at him, you have to respect him quite a bit in this spot. Just in general, he's really stepped up to the task every time they ask him. I know if my mother was here, she'd be betting this horse every time and making more money than us because she's an Oklahoma State fan. That's what they say when they get a touchdown.
That's right, you told me that.
I schooled you on that one here. But this will be a really tough horse, and I get your point with Rebel Day here. And also Royal Kitten, this is going to be an interesting one as well. Pete Walder, quiet lately. Yeah, unusually quiet.
Yeah, 994, I think, for Peter. So he's approaching 1,000 wins. Kelly Breen got it the other day. But yeah, I guess they have to catch this horse. But this is a pretty good rise here from 3Ls to some veteran hard knockers.
Yep, they are. Race number 7 here. This starts the late pick 5 on the card. 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta. I've got a ticket put together here, $27. Now, we'll get to this race in a second. Race 8 off the turf on the Tapeta. The 7 is my top pick. Ponte Pride for the Chris Davis barn. Race number 9 here. My top selection is the number 6. That is Journey to the Moon. And it wouldn't be a Saturday without a Jazzy T and Journey to the Moon matchup here. And in race number 10, pardon me, the 1, Great Navigator, love this horse, hoping for a better effort second off the bench. And in race 11, the 1, Mystic Sunrise, another one that's off the turf on the Tapeta. Maybe add a few more if you want on that last leg. It's kind of an interesting leg there. But race 7 to kick it off, this could be a problematic race here, 5.5.
Yeah, it's a little tricky. Let's bring the replay up of Loyal Louis because I wanted to show this twofold because he was really, really good. And then you got the turf race in between where he wasn't all that good. So Kent Sweezy puts the blinkers on in this spot. And I bet him this day, and you're going to watch this race. He was never losing, and he's 9-1. And this is a confident ride. And to me, it just looked like he was a different horse with the blinkers going on. He ranges up here 3 wide like he's 8-5 in here, and he sees it out, and he runs off in the lane. I mean, he didn't run poorly on the turf. He broke from the parking lot, and he's not a turf horse. I think maybe people overlooked this effort with the turf race, and he was 9-1 that day, and it does stand out in his form. Like, can he do that again? I'm a believer. in that race.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, the betting public doesn't necessarily believe. You get a better number, you get a better odds than you should. He ran a 7 that day. He's well drawn here. I'm right back with this horse.
I think it's a solid case for him there. The number 7 back to normal. I almost made my best bet today. A long layoff here, but Mike Maker is very good with these Tapeta races. Sneaky good lately. Paradise Farms owned this horse and been working consistently here. So I think an interesting player.
Yeah, and he's not in for a tag either.
Right.
So I think that's important because he didn't win at 35 the last time we saw him. The layoff, as Samantha said, you know, maybe that's a worry. Well, when you're not in for a tag, I don't think it's that much of a worry.
No.
My worry is, and I know you want to be up front or it's not a bad thing sprinting on the Tapeta, and he is outside the other speed. Boy, there's a lot of it in here.
There is. The number 2, Big and Classy. You've got second. I've got a stat here with first off the claim for Bobby DeBona, and this is on the Tapeta track. And I thought this was interesting. 2 for 11, first off the claim on Tapeta the last 2 years. 18% win percentage, and Bobby DeBona does a ton of things right. And this is just one that didn't jump off the page to me.
Yeah, not a huge sample, but we'll see what we get. This horse, the race he ran last time was seismic. Can he get back to it? It was so much better. Whatever figures you want. You got your 87 buyer, you got your 7 on the thoroughgrass. That's, to me, a big ask, and he's probably got to double up on it. And to me, I know Bobby does such a good job. He got a win the other day. Maybe the barn's trending back upwards a little bit. To have this horse double up, I think, is a pretty big ask.
The race number 8 off the turf on the Tapeta here, 1 mile and 70 yards on the Tapeta track, and the late pick 4 duties. You're up.
Take a look at it. It's a big ticket for me. It's $48. It's a spread kind of race and sequence. The single is in race 9. That is Journey to the Moon. You mentioned the battle with Jazzy T and Journey to the Moon. I'm not sure it's a battle anymore. Jazzy T, I'm not sure. Journey to the Moon, I'm fine with. And here's your late double. And there's, I'm basically telling you I have no strong opinion. I like Swervin today. I think he's interesting. We'll show the replay. And the dart landed on number 8 in the finale, and Samantha mentioned the 13. Another 13 on the card in race 1 and race 11. They both draw in. You better use both of them because they can run.
In race 8, we did have a few scratches. Take out the 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8 in this spot here. So very... And also number 4. Okay, awesome. This horse was entered, cross-entered for tomorrow as well. So we'll see Globes tomorrow. Luckily, we did not have that horse anywhere. And the number 9, Hollywood Hellraiser, you've got a replay of this Pete Walder race day gelding.
Yeah, so $36 on my late pick 4 now. So here's Hollywood Hellraiser out the back. Now, again, this is on turf. I get it. But, you know, we like to think they can run on both surfaces. That's why he's in here, too. And regardless of the surface, this horse has a trip this day, and he's got plenty of run from the back here. You can see him already kind of, I call it idling a little bit, got nowhere to go. Now he's going to get swooped on the outside, so he can't take that path, and he basically gives up first run to the entire field. He's still, what is he, in 3rd gear here? Nowhere to go. The ears are pricked like he wants to do some running, and now finally, remember him now. He's going to come into your picture. He's actually going to somehow get 4th. He's flying. What did he run for 30 yards in this race?
Yep.
Okay, we've got to answer the Tapeta question. That was a horse in pretty good form that didn't get to show it that day.
Yeah, he was, and I think you'll not definitely get 10-1.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, but an interesting player as well. The number 7, Ponte Pride. This is a horse that's won on the Tapeta last time and just kind of aired him out. Now, I don't really think he ran behind much, but
I think that's fair.
In this spot, I think this is a logical contender.
He's got the slash, so that means you can't win. But that was well before all the scratches.
Okay.
Much more condensed field here. He's slow, but he's got a lot of upside. And I always say this, too. When you come into these kind of races off a win, it's not a bad thing, even though he's facing winners.
Exactly. Race number 9 here. Late pick 3, time 1 mile and 70 yards. Scratch the number 1 out of this spot. And the matchup, as you said, is not a matchup so much anymore. Yeah. Jazzy T and Journey to the Moon, they've been knocking heads the past few months. And Jazzy T kind of looks like she fell off the wagon. She was a bit disappointing last time.
I agree totally. And I wonder if she's a little over the top. And we've just got to wait to see. Bobby DeBona's done such a good job with her. She's 12 for 15 in the exacta on the Tapeta, but you've seen it now in 2 starts in a row, and Journey to the Moon ain't stopping.
No, she's not, and we're were on this mare here. She's just been so competitive for the Ronnie Spatz barn. And what a cool horse to have in the barn. Now, race 8, Midnight Bella, I thought was, and you probably did as well, could be the biggest player in here against Journey to the Moon. Now, got a stat here on trainer Safi Joseph, and this is with turf to Tapeta the past year. So just 1 year, 12 for 48, 25% win percentage. But look at the in the money, 63%. You have to include this horse in exactas tries because this is a horse that will be there.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get Jazzy T out of the exacta. And, you know, she's running 9s on the Tapeta. Just to put it into perspective, Journey to the Moon's been running 8s and 7s. So she is not out of the realm here at all. And she's only run once on the Tapeta for Safi, and it was a really good effort.
Race number 10, this could be our feature race of the day, but I think that Tapeta race there's a couple very nice races now. This is an exciting race. 6 furlongs on our fast main track, an optional claiming event. To scratch the 6 and the 7 out of this spot, I don't really think that they were that big of players. We're left with 5 here. Swervin'. What an impressive Gervin winner last time.
Yeah, what a weird race, too, I think. Was this the first day we came back here with turf racing in December? Let's pull it up here. Guys, this was just very odd. You don't see horses win like this. Thank you. Good job, Bob. This is exactly where we want it. Swervin wins this race, okay? He's on the lead right now, and he's going to go wire to wire and run off. Well, that's actually not what happened. You see this about 5 times a year. He drops back to, 3rd or 4th here on the far turn. He's all out under a complete drive. I didn't have the rail as some golden spot to be that day, and you're thinking, oh, boy, okay, he's backing up here. He finds more down inside, and he's going to actually, it was a very slow race. You've got to, bring that into mention here, though. You just don't see this happen, Samantha. And I know we're down to a field of 5 today. I thought he could be loose in here anyway. He's got a lot of speed. He comes back with Lasix. It's April 15th. He's theoretically a bigger, stronger dude. He's still showing a lot of greenness here. We haven't seen him since his debut. He's facing some winners. The One Great Navigator is a real horse. Father Delay could be going places too. I'm excited to see him come back today.
Yeah, this is a very competitive race, and I did single Great Navigator. I'm not sure if this horse is a sprinter yet. I'm not really sure what this horse wants to do, but it was such a good effort in the Grade 3 Sanford, and first off the bench against Ticking.
Who's good?
Very good. Yeah. Scary good.
Yeah, who's going to win stakes races for Eddie Plesa Jr., so that's not a bad effort at all to come back like that.
Nope. I just hope Great Navigator doesn't get run off his feet too early and gets the rail, but this horse has got a lot of heart, and you can't train that into a horse, so it'll be interesting to kind of see how that plays out. Now, our finale today off the grass on the Tapeta, 1 mile and 70 yards here, and scratch the 9, 10, 14, 13 does draw in here, and this is, like you said, a problematic double here.
Yeah, scratches, and I scratch into the 8, Nia Gem, who's, so far been a turf horse. We'll see what we get on the Tapeta. It's a wide open spread kind of race. What am I, 6 deep, and I don't have your top horse, so it's that kind of race.
It is, yeah, and Mystic Sunrise was very, I think maybe just flat last time, a little over her head. Now she's in for the $50,000 tag here because she is Kentucky bred in this race. If you're Florida breds, you don't have to be in for the tag. This is an interesting race here. I don't. You could go anyway.
You could go a lot of different ways, and we speak of the rainbow with the 100 in there, and should be a lot more than that today. This is the type of race where very likely or very well could get there today, and you're going to see some sweepers in there. So get involved, because I lost my long shot in here. Factor that comes out. So it is a wide open race, and it ends all the horizontals, obviously, the 4, the 5, and the 6.
Yep, so definitely a spread race, and you can't look at them beforehand. It's just kind of a bummer, but this is a race where you could possibly make some money. Now we have our world-renowned lightning round. We've been away from it. I know you missed it, Brian.
I did. We're going to show you the standings here very, very early into stride here at the Royal Palm meet. I said the other day, too, go back and see who did the good damage, too, last Royal Palm meet, because now these are the guys we're going to see on a day in and day out basis. Edgar Zayas holding the top right now. Edgar Perez in very, very good form. And down the list, Chantel picking up some winners as well.
Yeah, she is. She had a very nice winner last week, and I know we missed the bet on that, but that's all right. We live to fight another day, and then
trainers?
Northeast. Oh, yeah, pardon me. Trainers. I'm skipping over them. Here we go.
Yes.
It's close.
It's close, Safi. Victor Barboza is the name I want to throw out there, and Steve Dwoskin for that matter, too. These are guys now I think are really going to get going here at the Royal Palm meet.
Now for the northeastern side of racing, the Tessio today.
Yeah, 4 stakes up at Laurel, our sister track, the Preakness Automatic Qualifier. You see, get a spot in the Preakness starting gate. Of course, 2 weeks after the Run for the Roses, it's coming up, you know, and get involved up there. They've got 4 really good stakes today.
Yeah, and the Preakness looks like it's shaping up to be a lot of fun, exciting. But we got to get through the Derby first, so we'll wait and see on that. Do you have a best bet today?
I got nothing today.
Nothing.
I lost my best bet and I lost my long shot. So we've got a few singles on the card that we'll get to, but the official one is out.
Payzone for me, the first-time starter for George Weaver. We'll see how that rail post works out here. No long shot for me, so we'll just do it on the fly.
That's it.
Yeah. And the art of racing. This is Ron's favorite thing. I wish he was out here to talk about it.
Yeah, he'll be out here in the first race. But Justin Johnson gets the award here, the Face of Victory, and that is pretty impressive. You can see it's one of those things you can look at it several different ways.
Yeah,
and see a lot of different things, and of course the historic Preakness trophy in there, and not too bad.
Nope, it's congratulations to Justin Johnson and everybody who participated. There were some really awesome drawings and mixed media type of entries in that contest. But that wraps it up for Brian and I. We will be with you throughout the day as well as Ron. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you're here or simulcast. It's a beautiful day here at Gulfstream Park. We got 11 for you. Pete Aiello will take you through the scratches and the changes on the card.